This year for Capricorn risings in 2023 is a year of creative breakthroughs and also of some financial transformations, restructuring how you manage and you make money, also letting go of something around your career, maybe something's ending and you're transforming, and focusing more on your home and family foundations. If you are excited to get into what 2023 holds in store for your rising sign, which is so crazy for me to be saying, I remember being like 2019 yearly forecasts and knowing that no one was going to watch them, but I just did them for me. So it's big, I'm very thankful to be here today. So thank you guys, because I'm here because of you. But anyway, if you're excited to get into your 2023 forecast for your rising sign, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. So we're going to start out with getting into the 4 major themes for this year. Then we're going to pull a tarot card, and then we will get into the nitty-gritty of the day by day. So to start out, the first major thing happening is the Taurus pileup over the spring. This is taking place in your 5th house of creativity or romance. So either creativity or your romantic love life is going to be breaking through in a disruptive yet positive way. Then secondly, Pluto is going to be entering your Aquarius 2nd house. Pluto is the planet of transformation, of death and rebirth, and it will briefly enter your 2nd house and then it will exit, and it will be there more firmly over the next 2 decades. But having Pluto enter your 2nd house briefly shows a preview of financial transformation to look forward to. Thirdly, Saturn will be entering your Pisces 3rd house, starting a 3-year transit of challenge yet maturity in terms of communication, writing, or day-to-day content or productivity that you're creating. Fourthly, the North Node will be entering your Aries 4th house, and the South Node will be entering your Libra 10th house, showing more focus on home, family, and the foundations of your life as you let go of something around career or public image. So the tarot card that we have for Capricorn risings, and I'm always really invested into this video because it's me, Diamond Hands reversed. This is the Fool reversed. So this is the 0 card. This is the Trading View deck because I can't find my normal deck. The Fool reversed shows that you are not a fool and you know what is going to happen. There's no mystery. There is no, oh, I'm new here. You know what's going to happen. So ironically, during this, we'll just be on the same page. We know what's going to happen with these. And therefore, this shouldn't be anything too surprising. Take the delineation that I offer that makes the most sense for you. So there's a ton going on in the 5th house. 5th house can be romance. It can also be creative breakthroughs. I know for me in my chart, I have things that block romance and relationships, and it's never been something in my life. However, creatively, I'm on fire. So do that. Do not take the surprising manifestation of this. Take the one that makes the most sense. So we start out in January with very much a go, 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 all systems go ahead kind of month, specifically around physical health and also your identity. So on the 12th, Mars will station direct in your Gemini 6th house. Mars has been in your 6th house of physical health and coworkers over the past few months. It has been retrograde, showing a rethinking or redoing how you maintain your physical health with things like diet or exercise, even addressing some more severe health issues, and or how you manage your coworkers. Mars now direct shows moving forward with those changes more significantly with more confidence and less trouble. Now on the 18th, Mercury stations direct in your Capricorn 1st house. Mercury retrograde is over, and with Mercury now direct in your 1st house of self, you're being more confident, articulate, and focused with your communication. And if there were any issues that required you or led you to be a little bit more quiet, a little more introverted, that is now over and you're being more well-spoken. Also on the 22nd, Uranus goes direct in your 5th house. So Uranus direct shows moving forward with more radical change, more sudden adjustment in the 5th house of creativity or romance. Those things are now breaking through more heavily for you. February, not that major of a month. March is when there's some major wins, major changes, and some major confusion. So from the 1st to the 2nd, Venus will conjoin Jupiter in your Aries 4th house. Venus and Jupiter are the 2 most positive planets. They're together in your 4th house of family and property or living situation. Looks really positive for that. And with Mercury and Saturn together in your 2nd house, there could be some serious yet very important financial news that leads to this growth and positivity around family or property for you. Now on March 7th, Saturn enters your Pisces 3rd house. Saturn is the planet of structure, restriction, and challenge. In particular for night charts, this is more challenging versus daytime charts have it as a little bit more maturity or responsibility only. For you, it's in your 3rd house of day-to-day writing, communication, routine, elementary education, and people that you see on a day-to-day basis. So your routine, or the day that you create written work on a more short-term basis, is becoming more structured and you're becoming more responsible. For example, I think for me, this will be more around having structured plans in my content. I'm already incredibly productive and very responsible with the way that I do things. But if I'm hiring more of a team, getting more of a managerial backing for me, it's going to take a little bit more infrastructure. That's what I would predict with this, for example. Now on the 12th, Jupiter will conjoin Chiron in your 4th house. Jupiter expands and Chiron is about vulnerability or healing. So it looks like you're resolving something family-wise, you're getting close to someone, it's an emotional journey of healing. And on the 13th to the 14th, Mars in your 6th house will square Neptune in your 3rd house. This has to do a little bit more with some trouble or some conflict, or your work for your personal health, like your diet or exercise, or your work with coworkers is leading you to be a little bit tired or fatigued. I know for me, it's always a balance between I'm going hard as fuck, but like when I'm not going hard as fuck, I'm then beyond fatigued. So it seems like you are dealing with that in the middle of March. Several other planets in Pisces showing it's a very productive major win month for getting things out there. But Mars in your 6th house is like, whoa, physically and with the people around you, need to slow down a little bit. Now on the 23rd, Pluto is entering your Aquarius 2nd house. So Pluto, planet of transformation and upheaval, is briefly entering your 2nd house of personal finance and income to preview the larger scale transformation that will be taking place over the next 20 years. So Pluto briefly enters this for a few months, it then leaves, showing that there's a preview of a transformation in how you're making or spending your money that will be happening this March onward. Now on the 25th, Mars will finally leave your Gemini 6th house and enter your Gemini 7th house. Mars, planet of conflict, of challenge, of fighting, has been in your 6th house of physical health and coworkers for the past 7 months. So with it leaving that, you can assume less conflict or issue with those topics, and it will now be in your 7th house of committed relationships or partnerships, which is somewhat more challenging for those, but that is a nice thing compared to Mars in your 6th house for 7 months. Like, it's good that Mars is moving on finally. Also on the 28th, Mercury will conjoin Jupiter in your 4th house. Looks like really positive, really strong news around family or property. And from the 30th to the 31st, Venus will conjoin Uranus in your 5th house. This shows sudden, really good news or good events taking place around romance for you. So expect good news romantically around the end of March. In April, it continues to be a month of optimism and confidence, specifically around your home and family. So on the 11th to the 12th, the Sun will conjoin Jupiter in your Aries 4th house. That is great for positive growth or something increasing that is around family or property. And on the 20th, there is a total solar eclipse in your 4th house. Solar eclipses are radical new beginnings that catalyze growth over the next 6 months. For you, this is in your 4th house of family, so it looks like a new living situation or family dynamic is growing. Then on the 21st, Mercury will station retrograde in your 5th house, so you might be having to go back, restructure, or rethink something with your romantic partner or a creative project that you're working on. May continues to be a month of foundational new beginnings, particularly creatively or romantically for you. So on the 5th, there is a lunar eclipse in your Scorpio 11th house. Lunar eclipses are endings or chapters completing. For you, it's in your 11th house of networking or group affiliation, so you might be having a falling out or just a period ending of working with a larger group of people. And from the 14th to the 21st, there is a background aspect of Jupiter in your 5th house squaring Pluto in your 2nd house. Looks like the creative or the romantic breakthroughs that you're having are leading to financial transformation in your life. Also on the 14th, Mercury retrograde ends and Mercury stations direct in your 5th house of creativity and romance. There's more moving forward with that. And on the 16th, Jupiter will enter your 5th house, which is incredibly positive for the growth and expansion of this creative and romantic area of your life. And finally, on the 19th, there's a new moon in Taurus with the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, Uranus, North Node all in your 5th house, showing incredible breakthroughs, growth, and positive energy happening for you to launch your creative or your romantic future. If I fucking get a boyfriend during this time, Lord, this will be news. I think it'll be more so like astrays and like things growing and whatever. So in June, an initial opportunity turns into a little bit more slowing down between your 5th house of romance and your 3rd house of being productive, especially. So on the 1st, Jupiter will conjoin the North Node in your 5th house. That is boom, very fast-paced, very growth-oriented energy that is really positive for this creative project or for your romantic relationship that you're in, if that applies. Also on the 11th, Pluto will retrograde back into your Capricorn 1st house. So we got a little bit of a financial preview. That is over, and now Pluto is back in your 1st house. So the intensity of transformation around who you are personally and your identity will therefore continue, and we're done with that financial period of seeing what's coming up for you a little bit into the future. On the 17th, Saturn is then stationing retrograde in your Pisces 3rd house. This shows rethinking the maturity, commitments, or steps of support that you were going after for your day-to-day content writing or communication. You're now rethinking that or going inward and stopping the forward movement. On the 18th to the 21st, we have a nice background aspect of Jupiter in your 5th house sextiling Saturn in your 3rd, showing that the growth of creative potential and success is leading to new opportunities for that content, for that writing, for how you're making that more substantial and solid. And from the 25th to the 27th, Mars in your 8th house will square Uranus in your 5th house. So some issues or some conflict or some kind of effort you're putting into investing or shared finances is having some trouble because of the shakeups or unexpected energy creatively for you. It could be that just the newness of what you're going after is leading to some difficult financially. I'm wondering for myself, for example, because it's a good way to like showcase what this could be. This could be that if there's a lot changing around my content, my management, the way that I'm making money, it could lead to like divvying up that money or the financial side of things being a little bit more complicated. And on the 30th, Neptune will station retrograde in your Pisces 3rd house, showing a going back to rethinking the goals and the ideals in what you're creating on a productive day-to-day writing or content basis. July is a month of turning points and reconsideration, especially around family and career for you. Because on the 17th, the North Node of increase will enter your Aries 4th house of home and family, and the South Node of decrease or departure will be entering your 10th house of career. So there's more progress or focus on building something up in your family, whereas you're shedding skin or removing something about your career. From the 19th to the 21st, Mars in your 9th house will oppose Saturn in your 3rd house. That shows some financial difficulties during this time, definitely. And on the 21st to the 22nd, the Sun in your 7th house opposes Pluto in your 1st house. You might be trying to manipulate or change a relationship, and it's challenging. On the 22nd, Venus will station retrograde in your Leo 8th house. Venus is values and harmony, and when it goes retrograde, it shows us rethinking those things and rethinking what we appreciate or stand for. For you, it's in your 8th house of finance and investing, so it may be a period of rethinking what you want to invest in, what you value, and where you want to put your money. Also on the 23rd to the 25th, Pluto will be at the bending of the nodes. So the North and the South node are 180 degrees apart. Pluto during this time will be at the 90-degree angle, showing a turning point or a missing piece in order to best harmonize the extremes. Pluto in your 1st house shows that the transformation and the authenticity of who you are is going to help support this new focus on family and letting go of something in your career. In August, things are still slow, especially around travel and creating things for you. From the 21st to the 23rd, Mars in your Virgo 9th house will oppose Neptune in your Pisces 3rd house. This shows that you have these goals or these trips or these educational kind of things you're going after, but you're fatigued and confused. Then on the 23rd, Mercury will station retrograde in your Virgo 9th house, showing you having to go back and reconsider or rewrite something academic or reconsider travel plans or having trouble with them. And on the 28th, Uranus will station retrograde in your Taurus 5th house, showing going back to reconsider the large-scale adjustments and changes that you've implemented around creativity or romance in your life. September is when the pace picks back up more significantly financially and travel or education-wise for you, because on the 3rd, Venus will station direct and Venus retrograde will end in your 9th house of foreign travel or higher education. And on the 15th, Mercury will station direct in your Virgo 9th house, showing moving forward or having more ease around education and travel in your life. October is where the breakthrough cycle and pivotal events continue, especially around career and creativity for you. On the 10th, Pluto stations direct in your first house of self, showing that you are moving forward with adjustments, changes, or transformation around your identity a little bit more directly. And on the 14th, there is a solar eclipse in your Libra 10th house of career, showing an important, radical, very impactful new start for you in your career or public image that will continue to grow over the next 6 months. From the 27th to the 30th, Mars in your 11th house will oppose Jupiter in your 5th house. Looks like your creativity or your romantic relationship is growing, but people that you're connected to maybe don't like that or are posing issues to it, especially with Mercury conjunct Mars in your 11th. Could be some difficult words on a more public level or with people that you're working with larger groups of people and you were fighting. You're fighting with large groups of people. And on the 28th, there is a lunar eclipse in your Taurus 5th house. This is a substantial ending or chapter high point or a letting go. And for you, it's in your 5th house of creativity or romance. Like you might be releasing something, you might be having it really go public, or you could be ending something romantically. November is a month of sudden changes. There's a lot of oppositions going on, particularly between your 11th house of social life and group support, and also your 5th house of creativity or romance. So from the 2nd to the 3rd, the sun in your 11th house opposes Jupiter in your 5th house. This shows a lot of focus on publicity, but it might be in a more challenging way, even due to the growth of your relationship in a positive sense. Now, from the 3rd to the 4th, Venus in your 9th house opposes Neptune in your 3rd house. This looks like you're really valuing either your trip or your education, but your day-to-day priorities mean that you're a little bit tired and a little bit fatigued. On the 4th, Mercury in your 11th house will oppose Uranus in your 5th house. This shows that communicating and meeting with a larger group of people is leading to some chaos around the romantic relationship or the creative project in your life. And on the 4th, Saturn will station direct in your 3rd house. This is really positive for moving forward with boundaries, support, and commitments around productivity, writing, or content in your life. From the 11th to the 18th, the Sun and Mars in your 11th house will oppose Uranus in your 5th. This continues to show that November is a very public month for you, but there's some issues because of the creative or romantic relationship in your life. And on the 24th onward, Mars in your 12th house will square Saturn in your 3rd house. This shows that you're trying to work on your mental health, but there's some struggles because of what's required of you on a day-to-day basis. December is an optimistic ending, even if there's some hiccups at first. So we start out on the 13th with Mercury stationing retrograde in your Capricorn 1st house. This does show you being a little bit more introverted, reconsidering your communication, or having to go more inward during this time. But on the 23rd, Mercury retrograde will re-enter your Sagittarius 12th house. So then you're reconsidering spirituality and mental health as something to work on. And on the 30th, thankfully, Jupiter will station direct in your Taurus 5th house, showing that you're going forward with some creative or some romantic growth in your life now as we enter 2024. And luckily, on January 1st, 2024, Mercury stations direct in your Sagittarius 12th house. So the issues or delays around mental health and spiritual matters in your life will begin to move forward. Thoughts, predictions, or anything to say about what that already has coming for you, feel free to comment down below. Would love to hear from you and already your expectations or things you're looking forward to for this year. The Work Your Light Oracle deck card that we have here, yeah, I've not used these cards in a minute, like maybe 2 years actually. We're gonna see what for Capricorn, inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So during this time, even if it's a year where we kind of know where things are headed and we can expect what some of these things are, making sure that you have enough alone time and you're tuning into what you really want will be important, because it definitely looks like a fairly public or creative-oriented time where you're speaking with other people. This was a helpful, informative guide to 2023. I put a lot of heart and soul into prepping for these, much more than normal, because I wanted these to be very important as the marinara sauce matures. It gets baked into the pizza, whatever. If you're new here, okay. I hope that this was, as I said, helpful and informative, and if you have any comments, I would always love to see them down below. I do scan through everything, and mostly I respond to what I can in the moment, really recognize and see, but I do see almost everything, if not everything. I think I see everything, you know? Ping me multiple times if you really have an emergency. If not, like, I have a lot. I will see you in the next one.
Oh, there is one.